and looked at these stats, but I know we won the game, and that was the only one I was looking at. And I thought we played pretty well. We had a couple miscues, obviously in the kicking game, a couple coverage issues, but I mean our ability to run the football and to play defense, especially our second half, the way we played. I mean, our guys really bowed up and played hard. I really played hard and played well, and we had some things go against us here and there, but shoot, what can you say? That I don't know if that'll knock New Hampshire out of the national rankings, but they've been in it for a long time, so we'll see. But hopefully it'll do something for us too, But anyway, that's down the line even more. But it's just good to be back home and play a good game back at home. That was the big thing.
Jimmy, they came in second in the country, averaging 4 sacks a game. Clearly does not get sacked today, and you run for more than 300 yards. That's got to be your offensive line, correct?
Correct. Yeah. As we said before too, John, David, when we keep our guys healthy up front, we're pretty stout. And you keep them healthy, and they're pretty stout. They know who to block, and they're pretty physical, and they work at it hard. And I think they do a really good job, and they take a lot of pride in it, whether it's run blocking or whether it's protection or whatever. But they do take a lot of pride in the way they play.
Hey, Jimmy, how about assessing the punt situations, the one late in the third quarter when the ball slipped through the fella's hands?
Yeah.
And then DeAndre got
blocking one in. Well, something we work on, John. We work on it, and DeAndre's got a great knack for timing those things and taking it off a punter's foot. He knows, he's worked at that, and the first one we got was kind of a fluke type of thing. They kind of messed it up, and whatever. But when he got that block, he was coming like a whatever off that corner, and he just laid out and made a great play. And he takes pride in doing that. He's good.
The flip side to you guys not allowing the sacks was that you had at least 4.
Mm-hmm.
Had them under pressure.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's something it was one of our big things going into it, Dave, was to get after him. We know he's a big time quarterback. You give him time, and he'll throw it around on you pretty good. We had to get him thinking about the rush. We had to get his mind kind of thinking about pressure and where it was coming from, and some blitzes and some things like that. And I thought our defensive coach did a nice job mixing it up, when to call it, when not to call it, and then we got great effort out of our front guys and the linebackers when we brought them. Yeah.
Jimmy, how would you assess how you guys did defensively after Luke's injury?
I think it was remarkable the way they stood in there and played. I think it was very easy to say, oh no, poor us, and we don't have our leader out there, and this, that, and the other, which would probably been natural. But those guys they stepped in there and they just kept battling and kept playing, and that makes you feel really good about the type of team that you have when they can do something like that. And when when adversity hits like that, nobody likes it, but that's where some other talents may show up that you hadn't seen before when you have that adversity. And I thought some guys really stepped in there and did a nice job.
And then Zach came up
with the interception. Yeah. That one was hard to drop. That was right in his hands. He better catch that one. He used to be a receiver. I mean, he ought to catch that thing. Okay? Yeah.
What's the extent of his injury?
No, I don't. Huh? It's something on his leg. I'm not sure whether it's knee, ankle, whatever. They told me he's just out. They told me he's out. I don't get into things when they say either go or no go or something like that. We'll see later on.
Last year, I think I have the number right. You guys had 7 offensive touchdowns of more than 25 yards. This season, you already have 11, including 2 more today. Obviously, one being Kendall's run and then Steve's pass to Dennis. What does that tell you about your offense?
What it tells me, and what we talked about, we addressed it last week, David, the big play element. What that is we don't go out there and dial up a play and say, okay, time for a big play, or okay, Kendall, big play coming. No, it's a matter of if you keep doing your job to the best of your ability every snap, then the circumstances and the situation could dictate that turns into a big play. And that's what's happened there. I mean, just like on the pass he hit to Devontae, that's something we've been practicing this week. They got us in the right coverage. we practiced it, we executed it out there just right in practice, and we executed it out there today. And same thing, Kendall's run. I mean, it's a base run. We're running all the time. All of a sudden, they may have gotten out of position, or we got a real good block here or there, and then off we go. So again, it's not, it's just doing your job and keep doing your job, and then big plays do occur when you have some really good athletes like Steve and Kendall and Devontae and Sabor and the rest of them.
Steve, we were talking before you came in just about how you guys didn't give up any sacks, and they were averaging about 4 games this year. Talk about your line. They kept you upright today.
Yeah, they're an awesome group of guys who they work really hard, and especially today. I mean, that one goes to them. I mean, we were running the ball right down their throat, and I felt like we established the run, and they never shut it down. So I mean, credit to them up front, and obviously if you eliminate sacks, it allows for opportunities to open.
Y'all good with me? You good, player?
Yes.
Y'all good?
Thank
Okay.
you.
Good.
Thank you, Jim.
All right, guys.
Kendall, could you speak of the rushing role you're on since that Stony Brook game?
My hat goes off to my offensive line and fullbacks and tight ends. The reason why we've been able to run the ball we do is because they've been killing defensive lines and getting up to linebackers and just opening up giant holes. Like today on the big run, our fullback winged it, he killed the linebacker and there was no one there. I got the ball and just ran. So, I mean, the hat goes off to those guys. Like, all of my, I get the rushing stuff, I get all that, but it all goes to my offensive line.
Yeah, Zay, how about when Luke went out, sort of the attitude on defense?
Attitude was just next man up. He's a big part of the defense. Everybody knows that. Senior captain, 5 years, and it's just, we just had to keep on moving forward. We couldn't stop, couldn't miss a beat. We missed him a lot, but, we just had to keep on balling. This is a team sport, not an individual sport. Of course, we missed him, but it's like we had to keep on balling. We knew what we had to do, and we practiced next man up. Everybody keep on moving forward. That's what we did.
About being able to apply that pressure on their quarterback early in the game, what influence do you think that might have had on how things went?
I mean, we worked our behind off all year on getting to the quarterback. I mean, we didn't have that much sacks coming into the game, but I mean, we knew we was the best defensive line in the conference, in my opinion, and we showed it today. Linebackers fill the holes, they blitz with a purpose. Coach Lou always says consistency builds culture, and that's a culture around here. We get to the quarterback, we hit them, and that's what we showed out today.
For any or all of you, obviously you played your first 5 away, was it?
Yeah.
Finally playing a home game, was that kind of would that juice you a little bit?
Yeah, very very nice to be home in front of the home crowd. It's nice to hear. Like I was talking to my dad last night, and he said he had trouble getting a hotel room last night because there's a lot of people in town, and people were saying it was because of the football game. So it's always nice to get back home, and we have a little tradition here protecting the black rubber at the Z. So. Black rubber at the Z.
Black rubber at the Z. Yeah, I was telling the guys, I was like, it's about time that we have a crowd that, when we make a big play, they're cheering. The whole place erupts, because, we make big plays, in away games, and it's only, a certain, section that's going crazy. But now it's the whole place erupts, and I was like, that has to, give you some kind of, you get amped from that.
Yeah.
You get amped from that. When the crowd explodes,
You feel it?
you just feel it.
Yeah.
Steve, did you guys feel, or do you feel like you gave one away in Delaware, and then these last 2 games, Villanova and New Hampshire, are perennial playoff contenders, and you guys just haven't beaten them. You have thoroughly beaten them. I'm just wondering how you guys rebounded from that game up in Delaware.
Yeah. I mean, the Delaware game it wasn't us. We kind of lost our little chip on our shoulder. Felt kind of sluggish out there, and after that game, we made sure to remember how we felt on that bus ride to make sure we never feel like that again. And we knew, even after that game, even though we lost, we know we were a better team. We know we're one of the best teams in the CAA, and we didn't show it that day. So we just made sure we came into practice that week and we said no more of that. It's not happening again. So, carrying that into Villanova and now today. I think we did a pretty good job at making sure we don't feel like that again.
Gotta keep going.
Did the touchdown pass to Devontae because it comes right in the block. It's the first play after the bump. It just felt like from up in the press box, like that was going for the jugular, so to speak. We kind of got him on the ropes. Let's throw the knockout punch. Did it feel that way on the field?
Yeah, I think one of our big things this year was finishing games, and we really wanted to get out and finish that game. We wanted to make sure we put them away, and there was no chance anymore. And obviously, after a turnover, you know, you want to stick the dagger in the heart and finish them off. So I think it was a good play call by Coach Rogers, and good execution by the line. Devontae ran a great route, and it opened up nice and turned it into a touchdown.
You got a similar role last season of almost 140 or 50 passes without a pick. You're on a similar type of stretch this year. Might have gotten lucky one today, but what is the key for you with ball security? You guys only have 3 turnovers all season.
Yeah, I mean, from a quarterback perspective, I can speak from what Coach Rogers talks about. I mean, he's such a good coach, and he does such a good job preparing me each week that I'm not out there guessing what's going on or guessing where to go with the ball. I mean, we get all the looks, we go through every play, establish, hey, like if it's this coverage, this is where the ball is going to go. And you know, I do owe it to Coach Rogers. He makes me super comfortable in this offense and has taught me where to go with the ball and what coverages, and he game plans awesome and puts me in the situation to be successful.
Anything else, Ben? Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, I'm John.